Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Greg Marshall. Today I want to talk to you about a little story. When we talk to our clients, right, we're doing a lot of sales training as something that's another offering that we give our clients, because here's what we discovered. So a lot of businesses and individuals, they consistently say, I need more leads. I need a marketing agency to get me more leads. I need to get better results. I got to figure out how to get people to buy from my advertising, right? So what they do is they hop from agency to agency, and they're actually attacking the wrong problem. So what we've discovered, and this is just by trial and error actually, because my assumption was because someone is a business owner, they automatically know how to sell. And what I discovered is nothing could be further from the truth, right? These business owners who are having success could be having significantly more success if they knew how to actually sell cold leads from the internet, right? So what their challenge basically is they get these leads and they go from agency to agency, and their thought process, and I don't blame anyone for thinking this way, but their thought process is, yeah, marketing equals sales. I'm supposed to get a good marketer or a good marketing agency to get me more sales, which makes sense, right? Because marketing is supposed to be prepping someone for selling, to actually buy the product, right? Well, when it comes to the sales part, you have to remember when you're talking to, cold leads off the internet, you're a stranger. No one has any idea who you are, if you're a scam, if you're a fraudulent company, they're scared. People are legitimately scared and skeptical when they see any type of marketing or advertisement on the internet. And so because of that, most business owners kind of bypass and assume because someone filled out a form and said, yeah, I might be interested in this product or service, that this person is considered a hot lead, right? That this person should buy quickly, right? Because they filled out the form. Why wouldn't they buy quickly? Well, that's just not how it works. And we've been selling strangers from the internet for a long time, 10, 15 years now. And here's what we discovered. Basically, what you have to do is you have to think there's a three-step type process that customers, clients need to go through in order to buy anything, right? So you've got first they need to be aware, right? Then they engage, and then they convert, right? That's typically marketing speak, especially on marketing platforms where they have different objectives. Now, the other thing you got to be thinking about is if you want to move someone to warm, your job as the business owner is to actually do an effective enough job in the first step. And that first step is taking someone from not knowing you at all and getting them to be completely warm, right? Well, how do you do that? Well, the key is you have to ask emotionally based questions. No matter how silly that sounds, you have to do it. You've got to get them in an emotional state and get them to the point where they really feel the emotion of wanting to take the next step. Where most businesses focus on is they kind of demonstrate or talk about all the bells and whistles of what it is and the length of the program you might be getting into or how the product might be able to solve the problem. But what they don't do is spend the time to emotionally get them engaged, to want to take the next steps. So here's an example. So most business owners will ask questions like, yeah, so you filled out our form today. Have you worked with someone like this before? And then they'll go into, yeah, I think we can help you because X, Y, and Z, we can do this. My program is 6 months, 12 months, or my product can do this for you. And let's go ahead and take a look at the prices and see if you're a good fit, and let's get started. And it's really like you're kind of skipping a step with this person. They haven't been able to build any rapport with you or know if you even know what you're doing, right? And they're not even in an emotional state to take an action. So what you want to do instead is you want to say, okay, why is something like this important to you? Where do you see yourself 12 months from now after doing this? Why is this, on your radar for wanting to solve this issue? How much pain and suffering has whatever problem you have caused you over the last little bit? How long have you been thinking about taking an action step to do the next thing, right? And then you don't stop there. right? So typically that's where people stop and they get stuck. Where you want to start focusing on is then you want to spend as much time as possible on each particular emotionally based answer, so that when you go ahead and go deep, that's where you're able to take a stranger completely from the internet and make them want to take the next steps. So really work on your questions and fine tune your sales presentation, and first go into it with the mindset that this person thinks that I am so full of you know what, and they think I have no idea what I'm talking about, or they think I'm trying to pull a fast one on them. Your mindset as a business owner, as a salesperson, if you have a sales team, this is what their mindset needs to be in order to get the results that they want. You need to be going into it thinking, I have to have a presentation that helps guide this customer to not think that I have no idea what we're talking about, or that we're trying to pull a fast one. I need them to trust me, and I need them to trust me quickly. So focus on building out 5 to 10 specific questions that are designed to get their trust, so that they can go, okay, now I'm going to actually listen to whatever it is that you have to say. Because if you do not go into the questions and get them in an emotional state and build that rapport, build that trust, then they're not listening to you. That's just the bottom line. They're not going to be listening to anything you have to say, because they're just thinking, yeah, you haven't warmed me up. You haven't taken the time to warm me up. And this is why cold advertising is so hard for business owners if they don't know how to do this. So if you want your cold advertising to work better and your marketing to work better to strangers, you actually should begin with how to do this process. The trust, building the trust process, getting them in an emotional state, and actually helping them understand that you're someone that they could look to for guidance, and that you're not going to take advantage of them. And if you do not do that, right, and you just do the traditional, you run an ad, you get some leads, you try to sell them, you got no marketing material that helps increase the level of trust with you. There's no thought about how can I help this person trust me faster, right? You got to build trust faster is basically what I'm trying to say. Then it's not going to work. You're just going to get a bunch of leads, and then you'll hop from agency to agency, marketer to marketer, course to course, and any other solution that you're looking for, when you're actually trying to solve the wrong problem. And that's why a lot of the stuff doesn't work. It's because you're solving the wrong problem. You need to solve the problem. How do I get these people to trust me? If you have higher levels of trust, you have better show rates from cold traffic, right? If you have higher levels of trust, you shorten the sales cycle. You can sell and close someone in 14 days or less, 7 days or less, even same day, right? But if you do not build that, this is where the sales cycle can be 30, 60, 90, 180 days, if ever, if they ever even show up to any of your calls or even respond to any of your marketing, because you have to get them to want to trust you. And if you focus on this, I promise you, if you focus on this and get really, really good at this, your sales will start to work a lot easier. Things will feel a lot smoother, and you will be more optimistic about running paid traffic or even running organic traffic, because it's the same thing. At the end of the day, whether you're using paid or using organic, your goal is to try to get strangers that have no idea who you are to do business with you. So you need to follow this process, whether you're running paid traffic or you're just doing organic traffic. So hopefully today's video was helpful. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Go ahead and like, subscribe, share, do all that. And visit our website, fituremarketing.com. And if you ever want any help or training with this type of stuff, we do have offerings that we can specifically help your business, you, your sales team, your marketers, on how to complete this process, so you're not just blowing money and getting a bunch of leads and thinking the platform doesn't work or lead generation doesn't work. It's just that you have to know what you're doing. So talk to you soon.